Shrestha viewers, welcome. So in the last class, we were discussing about theory of firm, but I am not talking about that. Before that topic, we were discussing about differences between sole proprietorship, partnership and joint stock, right? So the chapter of sole proprietorship and partnership, we will leave it there because till that extent up to theory part we are done with that. But joint stock company we need to learn or we need to see some more things in company point of view, which we are going to discuss now. So as usual, like at same thing, like we repeat from every class or in every class. So we come with a definition first. Joint stock company's definition. So joint stock company is also called as a limited company. So what is the definition? A joint stock company or a corporation is an artificial being, invisible or intangible artificial person created by law. Yes or no? So let's repeat it again. Joint stock company or a corporation is an artificial being, intangible or invisible artificial person created by law. Clear? So now we also have another part of question. Here he asked us about joint stock company and the sources how to raise. Now in sole proprietorship we already know he is the only person who gets a source, so he doesn't have any source, he has to get his amount. And even partnership, they share the resources, they share the capital, but they don't have someone to invest from outside. Whatever they have, they invest and they do and earn profits. But here in company point of view, we won't call them individually, we represent whoever the members in the company, we represented them as a company. And now we are going to know what are the sources of funds or what are the funds or the sources required by a joint stock company, or how are these sources raised. Okay, this question can be asked in many types. Whatever it is, if you get the word sources raised by or required by joint stock company, then this is the answer that you have to get it into your mind. So let's see the second part of this answer. Sources of capital required by company. What are the sources? Now that sources is divided into long term and short term. Okay, what are they divided into? Long term and short term. So again this long term has many parts under it. So long term, first of all we'll understand what is long term. So a long term means which needs some time. So whenever you get some capital to invest it into your business and also to buy some fixed assets like machinery, plant, land, building, furniture, stock, or to get some amount of investment that will be repaid back which is exceeding more than 5 years. That can be borrowed amount or your own amount which is again getting you to pay back after 5 years, then it is called long term period or long term funds. So exceeding 5 years or to invest in assets or fixed assets to the business, whatever it is called as long term funds. So that long term is divided into owner's capital and debt capital. What it is divided into? Owner's capital and debt capital. Now what is owner's capital? That we can understand from these 2 points. Owner's capital is again characterized into 2 parts, equity shares and preference shares. Now what is equity shares? The equity shares represent the ownership of the company. The equity shares are the actual shares that represents the ownership of the company or the ranking of the company, and the people who invest or get this in equity shares into the business are the real owners, and they have the right of enjoying the right to vote. So they can elect their board of directors. Okay. So that equity shares are bought by real owners of the company and they enjoy right to vote or elect their board of directors. Okay, and the capital that they get into business as equity capital is called as risk capital. Yes or no? Business involves risk and the owners only will get the capital, whatever form of business it may be. So the capital which they get it as or introduce it as equity shares or capital, that is a risk capital, because if everything is going good and the business is performing well, then they can reap all the benefits. Or else, if it is not at all going good and the company is going into damn losses, then they are the sufferers. So anyhow they are going to suffer. If everything is good, then it's nice, but if it is not, something is going wrong, then they are the sufferers. So that capital which is borne by the owners into the business is called a risk capital, and that is about the equity shares. Now coming to preference shares, that is kind of a preferential thing, like it depends upon the dividends that they are going to be paid, or the capital, and also depends upon the payment of capital or repayment of capital at the end of the winding up of the company at that time. And this preferential value of the shares depends upon the equity value of dividend, whatever it is there, and they can get it at the time of payment or repayment at the time of winding up of the company. So that is a type of two types of owners capital, that is equity shares and preference shares. Whereas debt capital, the another side of long term funds. So again this debt capital, seeing that we can understand debt is the money which is not of our own, we are lending it from some other source. So what is the debt capital? This debt capital is also divided or characterized into two types, that is debentures and loans from financial institutions. Debentures and financial institutions. Now what are debentures? We can say in a small line, debentures is a acknowledgement of debt, a small acknowledgement slip or a form of debt that is held by the company, or we have to show it and pay it on the future date. And we have a definition given by Thomas Evelyn. So I am not going to say that. So you should only comment in the session. In comment session is provided for you. So the Thomas Evelyn definition is there, which is really meaningful, and you can see the whole meaning of the debentures there. We can simply say it is an acknowledgement form of debt, but you have a definition for that. Comment and let me know in the section. We can see, like I'll check like how many are going to do that. And the other form is loans from financial institutions. So financial institutions in the sense banks, some institutions like IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India, which provides the loans or sanctions the loans to big enterprises, industries, firms, and some many other cottage industries, whatever it is, small scale, medium scale, large scale, whatever it is related to industry, business, enterprise. So not only that, IFCI, SCF, and I also want the full forms of all these. So I hope you will comment in the comment section. So IDBI, I already said one of them for you, and ICFI, SCF, WC, LIC. What is that? Life Insurance Corporation. We know. And then CB, commercial banks. You only have to find out what is IFCI and SCF. I won't say everything. You should only find out and comment and let me know in the comment section. So what does this? So we know these are the examples of some financial institutions. What do they do? So whenever you want to start some XYZ industry private limited or public limited, and you are going to raise a source of funds. So the amount which you want to invest in the business is up to 50 crores, but you on your hand or in your hand you possess only the amount near to 30 crores. So that 30 crores is your owner's capital or your capital, and the remaining 20 crores should be borne by the company, or you should be getting borrowing from the company only. That is this financial institutions or banks. So you go and you approach these financial institutions for loans, and there are few institutions that lend money only for institutions like some industries and all. For business, there are also some institutions they give money or sanction money loans for business. Like for house loans we have another section, and business loans we have another banks, and for land loans or something like that we have another department for that. So in the same way for business also we have some banks, that has I told you, IDBI, LIC, and commercial banks, ICFI, SCF. So these are the things. So that is the list of banks which provide the loans for these industries. That comes under long term funds. And now coming to short term funds. What are the short term funds? Now there should be a difference between long term and short term, right? So long term we told which exceeds more than 5 years, or we put it in the assets. So that is called long term funds. But what is short term funds? So these short term funds are borrowed or bought into the business to meet the working capital requirements or to meet the day-to-day expenses. So that will be repaid back between 3 to 5 years of time. So, and what are the types of short term funds are just divided into two parts, that is commercial papers and bills of exchange. So what are these commercial papers? You know promissory note? You can you will have an idea, it is a word relating to business law. Whenever you make a deal or an agreement completely involved in the law, or two parties make an agreement, we write it on a promissory note. On so and so date we are liable to pay this amount. You buy the car from A and you are liable to pay some 50,000 or 5 lakhs of amount to him. So you write it on the promissory note that you have to pay, I am going to pay him this amount, and you sign on that. So that is called a promissory note. Here these commercial papers are unsecured promissory note. Unsecured means it doesn't mean that it is not safe, but it has a validity period, like a gift voucher or a coupon, a gift coupon will have some validity period, right? So if you buy or make use of this voucher between this time to this time, like in 1 week, you have that offer, or else it is gone. So in the same way, it is an unsecured promissory note which has a time limit, like 80 days. Its maturity period or maturity value is 80 to 91 days, and between that only it is valid. Once the date is crossed, you cannot you cannot use it. So, and that becomes invalid argument and agreement. And the maturity value, the difference between the maturity value and the issue price of this papers is the compensation for holding period. The holding period means which you are holding that note, like that period, that is the compensation. The difference between the maturity value and issue price is the compensation for the holding period, is what called as commercial papers. And this commercial papers or bills of exchange is nothing but it is kind of negotiable forms or negotiable instruments. Now we are done with already commercial papers. Now we are going to bills of exchange. What is bills of exchange? So here bills of exchange is nothing but it is also a negotiable instrument through which we can convert the the sundry creditors into negotiable instrument. This bills of exchange is used to convert the sundry debtors into this negotiable instrument. So here I can define it in a small way, like a bills of exchange is an unconditional order placed by a seller to demand the amount from the customer. And here the drawer or the that person is called seller, drawer or seller. So he will be the thing like an acceptor is the drawer or seller is the seller and acceptor is the buyer. So this bills receivable will be received by seller and that bills payable goes to acceptor, that is the buyer. So here this, can you see this example? Sundry debtors can be converted into bills receivable and sundry creditors can be converted into bills payable. So whenever you see in the liability or balance sheet statement of a company, so this sundry debtors or bills receivable are the current assets, whereas this bills payable and sundry creditors are the liabilities or they are liabilities. So this creditors and bills payable will be mentioned on the liability side of balance sheet, and sundry debtors and bills receivable will be mentioned on the asset side of balance sheet. So clear with long term and short term funds. It's really an easy topic, and that comes to the end. I remember what I said, you should comment about the definition given by Thomas Evelyn for debentures, and also specify what are the full forms of this. And I would like to know from you guys, if there are any more negotiable instruments. So you can comment and let me know. Okay, that comes to the end of the session, and if you like or you think I made relevant to the session, then like, share and subscribe my channel Shrestha Gnanadayini. Thank you.